I'll tell you what, when we were sent our first wheel stand to review last year, we really weren't sure what to expect. We thought even the most basic, full cockpit would be better than having half of one you need to supply your own chair for. Boy, were we wrong. We have loved using the Wheelstand 2.0 from Next Level Racing here at TraxionGG, and when Trak Racer got in touch asking whether we'd like to look at their Wheelstand product, it was an offer we couldn't refuse. Obviously, as said, this product has been supplied to us by Trak Racer for review, but this review is made up entirely of our own opinions. You can head to the link in the video description for more information on our review policy. Say hello to the FS3, one of the most to-the-point sim racing products I have ever used. Its design is as basic as it gets for a wheel stand, just 2 A-frames and 2 mounting plates, and yet the construction and adjustability is brilliant. Your first experience with this product, along with the TR8 cockpit we reviewed alongside this, is one of environmental awareness. A single branded yet plain brown box houses the parts, with no fully printed or branded box inside. For context, other products we've reviewed have turned up in brown boxes only to have fully branded, like plasticky boxes inside. Big fan of Trak Racer for not doubling up for the sake of it. Secondly, on this wavelength, however, there is no manual in the box. You instead get a catch-all card with a QR code to access the manuals, so rather than Trak Racer printing thousands of bespoke manuals to go with these products, you simply bring it up on your phone. Makes sense, but after you've screwed stuff in and look back to your phone, it's locked, and you've got to unlock it again, scroll down, etc. Paper manuals don't lock or need charging. Also, that QR code takes you to the overall products page on the Trak Racer website, where you need to select your product, scroll down to the manuals button, which then takes you to an overall Google Drive where you have to select the specific product again. Why not just have the QR code take you to the Google Drive? Anyway, once you've dug up the manual in your native language, the FS3 goes together like a dream. The instructions are clear and concise, and to make things even better, the bolts are pre-installed in the location they need to be on the steel parts. Simply unscrew, put together, and rescrew. Absolutely brilliant, no guesswork involved. It took me maybe 15-20 minutes to put the thing together before mounting peripherals, and you can easily do it solo, as while the steel and plastic parts don't feel cheap in the slightest, the overall assembly isn't horrendously heavy, a hurdle the first wheel stand we reviewed definitely fell at. I mounted my Logitech G923 wheel and pedals to the FS3, and thanks to a plethora of pre-drilled holes, everything mounted with no issues. Even the M6 screws supplied with the FS3 were long enough for the G923 base, which was a concern because the G923 threads are quite deep within its hole on the bottom, and other products I've used that supplied M6 screws, they were never long enough. Though there wasn't a compatible Allen key present for the M6 bolts supplied. You had 2 others for putting the FS3 together, but not one the right size for mounting your peripherals. That's a paddling. All 4 legs are height and angle adjustable, and both the wheel and pedal plates have both angle and push-pull adjustability, which is almost surprising since they're so minimal in their design. At the base of the legs you have these chunky rubber feet, which is great for both stopping it sliding around during use and also not to knacker your floors. However, it's not the quickest adjustment process, as it's all done through removing and/or loosening the installed bolts. It can and will be a bit of a faff to get everything perfect, and while I got mine in a pretty darn good position, I wish I could have had the wheel and pedals more above one another, but the wheel mount was as far back and the pedals as far forward as they would go. You just have to get used to the best you can position-wise. Not perfect, but not unusable by any means. Plus, much like the other wheel stands on the market, the FS3 is designed to fold flat for storage, and since it's nowhere near as heavy as the competition we've tried already, it was already a leg up. I won't lie, when the FS3 arrived at Traxion Towers, I chucked it in the boot of my car and took it home with me straight away. 1, because I'm really selfish, and 2, because being at home and having to move it around, it's the best place to test something like this. I've been wanting this for so long so I can play Gran Turismo 7 at home in front of the TV with a wheel, but I can't leave this thing downstairs, so I need to fold it up, carry it upstairs, and store it in my office. But once you've built it and worked out a way to keep it, how does it fare in practice? Thanks to that aforementioned solid construction, the FS3 is fantastic to use. When steering erratically during a rally game, for example, or hard braking when playing F122, this wheel stand remains remarkably stable. There is a touch of side-to-side flex when you give it a poke, but in gameplay, you won't notice. Trak Racer have balanced the weight to rigidity trade-off very well here, as the Next Level Racing Wheel Stand 2.0, while being built like a tank, is about as heavy as one. The FS3 nails the practicality of a wheel stand you'll be moving around, and while there are much lighter, simpler and cheaper wheel stands on the market, their build quality and stability are leagues below the FS3. So if you're convinced by the Trak Racer FS3, then how much will you need to fork out for it? This particular review unit is the FS302, so a slight revision to the original in some way, and it'll set you back $149.99 at RRP. As far as solid wheel stands go, that's a pretty standard price. It's obviously far cheaper than a full sim rig, but potentially more expensive than a desk. There are cheaper options out there, but I sincerely doubt they'll be as robust and long-lasting as the FS3. I have read a number of horror stories of people picking up sub $100 wheel stands on Amazon that quite literally fall apart after only a few uses, so putting a little bit more dough behind one is probably a good idea. If you've been eyeing up the Trak Racer FS3 and have been hesitant to pull the trigger, it's safe to say that if you're looking for a wheel stand to improve your setup, you can't go wrong with this offering. Thanks once again to Trak Racer for sending this our way. We've been very excited to get another wheel stand to play with here at Traxion, and you, if you're watching Trak Racer, have very much delivered. Once again though, link in the description below to our review policy. So then, are you keen to pick up the FS3 after watching this review, or are you looking for something a little bit more substantial? Our review of the Trak Racer TR8 should be on YouTube by the time you're watching this, or soon, hopefully, so why not check that out? If you want to see more hardware reviews, don't forget to subscribe to the Traxion YouTube channel, and you can find even more racing games content, whatever your discipline, over on TraxionGG. Thank you very much for watching, keep it pinned, and I'll see you next time.